This is the story of Min Young, an accomplished senior manager who was demoted to being the secretary of Iseop Tai. Spoiled heir of TK Group and surprised the same guy that Min Young had outshined during the new employee training all those years ago. Will Iseop seek revenge for his ego? Let's start from the beginning. But before that, make sure to subscribe because we have a lot of good content on production. The story begins in the female lead house, as she dresses up for work. Her mother says that the dress was worth every penny, and her brother tells her that she looks so mature. But instead of admiring the dress, Min Young was busy calculating how many times she should wear it to make the expensive price tag worth it. Then, her mom tells her that work is different from school, and suggests that she should follow her superior's order without ever arguing or complaining and to always smile no matter what. Then we are quickly taken 10 years later. Min Young had followed her mother's advice. She always obeyed her superiors and never argued with them. She always smiles no matter the condition. As a result of her superhuman acumen, she receives lots of awards for being the best at everything. It looks like she will have a bright future, right? But no, suddenly she is appointed as an executive assistant. She is furious, after 10 years of working like a dog, to reach the position of a senior manager. She is demoted to a mere secretary. She asks her boss if it is because she had made a mistake and offers to fix it, but her boss replies with a no. Her boss says that she is brilliant and there is nothing he can do about this very unexpected move. This is a decision made by TK Group CEO Si-won Tai. Her boss tells her that she will receive a good offer for this position. Upon hearing that, she feels like this could be the greatest opportunity for her or the biggest crisis in her life. Then we are shown a handsome boy in the airport. He is none other than Iseo, the executive director, Tai, who our female lead will be working for. A manager from the company picks him up, saying it must have been a stressful business trip. But our male lead reveals that he lied about taking a business trip. It is just an excuse for him to enjoy a vacation after years of hard work. He had been working diligently for 34 years in hope of being the CEO of the company. But one day Jun Seop-tae came out of nowhere and took over the business. So he gave up working, left a message and went on a fake business trip. Seop asks the manager to take him to his apartment, but the manager replies saying he was told to take him straight to the strategy office when he lands. He pretends to be exhausted and insists that he should be sent home. Just then he receives a call from Jun Seop. Seop declines the call, but the call rings with another phone call. This time it is from senior manager Kang Min-yeon. The manager hands the phone to Seop, and then he is confused why she would call him. His confusion clears up quickly as she informs him that she will be her personal secretary and executive assistant from now on. He is totally shocked that a talented senior manager like her is going to be his secretary. He even tries to ask Jun Seop for more detail before Min Young could pass the phone to Jun Seop. Seop starts to scold her, saying that she's not his secretary and to stop joking around. Seop hangs up the phone without talking to Jun Seop. On the other side of the phone call, Jun Seop tells Min Young to proceed with the schedule anyway. Then we see our handsome maid lead sleeping. But he suddenly gets a call from the manager. The manager and Min Young are outside waiting for him. They ask him if they can come in. He shouts at the manager saying that he doesn't need any secretary and questions Min Young as to why she is outside his home. She tells him that she is just carrying order from CEO Si-won. She tells him that she is coming in as they are short on time. He shouts for her to wait, but he trips and falls just as she enters the room. At first, she greets him good morning with a big smile until she realizes that he's only wearing his boxers. It was an awkward moment. Seop's face turned red, but Min Young was a professional. She just calmly closed the door. Seop screams in embarrassment. After a while, Seop comes out properly dressed and Min Young tells him that they only have 15 minutes left and asks if that is enough time for him. Seop says that he even has not showered yet, hasn't eaten, and he doesn't have anything to wear. But being the best worker in the company, Min Young is totally prepared. She has brought him clothes and breakfast. He asks her if a secretary is allowed to enter his home like that and argues that it is his private space where he does whatever he wants, like walking around around naked. He asks her if she can handle it in a challenging way. She is smart and instead questions him if he feels uncomfortable because she is a woman. He then laughs at her, saying if she's being serious and questioning her back as to why he would be uncomfortable. She is not affected by his mocking, saying it's a relief that he feels comfortable around her. Before Iseop could say anything, Min Young reminds him that they only have 10 minutes left and tries to give Iseop a towel bath. This scared Iseop and yells at them to get the towel out of his sight. In the end, Iseop gives up and informs them to wait for 5 minutes. As he showers, Iseop recalls the first time he saw Min Young 10 years ago and remarks that she hasn't changed at all. He remembered when he had gotten second place for the first time in his life, after she snatched first place as the best employee. That was when he started hating her. The flashback ends and we are brought back to the present, where Iseop dries his hair. Seeing Min Young, he confirms with her that they have 5 minutes left. She praises him for doing a good job, which makes him speechless. He then informs her that he is not a fan of clingy secretaries and he says that he doesn't like her. He is doing this to try and scare her away, but she just remains calm. Iseop says that they are now behind schedule. Iseop was surprised by her lack of reaction. Then, from Min Young's POV, we discover that she dislikes Iseop too. She thinks he's childish and spoiled. However, as she watches Iseop in the car, she admits to herself that in terms of looks, Iseop is totally her type and smiles awkwardly. In a flashback of 1 week ago, we see the CEO of TK Group, Sihuan Tai, talking to Min Young. First, he praises her for being an efficient worker, and then he tells Min Young to take good care of Iseop. It is obvious that the CEO cares about Iseop very much. When Min Young starts to doubt her abilities, the CEO mentions Min Young's younger brother's talents. As winter sports athlete, the CEO hints that TK Group would support Min Young's brother's sports career if she accepts the job. In the next scene, we see Min Young leaving the CEO's residence while mumbling to herself about how intimidating the man was. In her mind, the CEO was like a great tiger. Just then, she receives a phone call from her younger brothers, Min Wan and Min Young. They had good news. They are now TK Group sponsored athletes. Their entire family is celebrating this joyous occasion. Min Young thinks to herself that it is all worth it, as long as her younger brothers are happy. We are brought back to the present, where Min Young is sharing a car ride with Iseop. Min Young reminds herself that she should not have romantic thoughts about Iseop, because she has to work hard for her family's happiness. The car brings them to the CEO's residence. The CEO is Iseop's grandpa and Iseop does his duty as a grandson. Happily, he brings the CEO snacks and even massages the CEO's shoulders. Min Young thinks to herself that the CEO was very different around Iseop compared to when he had spoken with Min Young. But as soon as he turns to ask if she was doing her job properly, his face becomes scary again. Min Young hides her fears and answers that it was only her first day and she will keep on improving in the future, with a big smile. Despite her smile, Iseop notices that her hands are shaking. He realizes that she is acting a different way compared to when she did at his apartment. Subscribe, because we will be back with another video.